Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity in the Seven Hills. It's time to sing some songs. Let's stand up, get to our feet. And we're going to start with a holler this morning. So I hope everybody's lights are turned on. Don't forget to turn your cell phones off, though. All right, here we go. Unity, unity, huh. Unity, unity, ah, ah, ah. Unity, unity, huh. Unity, unity. We blind ourselves with who we might be. Our possibilities too bright for us to see. We blind ourselves with who we might be. Our possibilities too bright for us to see. Unity, unity, huh. Unity, unity, ah, ah, ah. Unity, unity, huh. Unity, unity. We blind ourselves with who we might be. Our possibilities too bright for us to see. We blind ourselves with who we might be. Our possibilities too bright for us to see. Unity, unity, huh. Unity, unity, ah, ah, ah. Unity, unity, huh. Unity, unity. Bring in the light and fill your soul. Together we'll all feel whole. Bring in the light and fill your soul. Together we'll all feel whole. Turn on the light, turn on the light. Click. Turn on the light, turn on the light. Turn on the light, turn on the light. Turn on the light, turn on the light. Bring in the light and fill your soul. Together we'll all feel whole. Bring in the light and fill your soul. Together we'll all feel whole. Turn on the light, turn on the light. Turn on the light, turn on the light. Yeah. Turn on the light, turn on the light. Turn on the light, turn on the light. Unity, unity, huh. Unity, unity, ah, ah, ah. Unity, unity, huh. Unity, unity. Woo. So this next song was, well, the chorus at least was inspired by a gift that was given to a few people was it last year? From this point, it's always last year. I guess it may have been 2 years ago now. So the present said something like, the light in me honors the light in you. And that's the chorus for this. There's some doot-to-doos that you can join in with. They're actually not on there, so you can doot-to-doot right to the front. Together. All right. So this is new for everybody. So if you don't have it right at the beginning, you'll soon get it. Wake up and catch fire. It's time for us to stretch ourselves and reach for our desires. Rise up, be free. Expand our minds forever, becoming all that we can be. Look in, look out, finding all the joy within, giving us an occasion all to shout. Hold on, dig deep. There is purpose, you are here in this beautiful mystery. You have a reason, you lead the way. This is your season, you're here to stay. You have a reason, you lead the way. This is your season, this is your day. The light in me sees the light in you. The spark in me sees you shining through. The light in me sees the light in you. The spark in me sees you shining through. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. There it is. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. Wake up and catch fire. It's time for us to stretch ourselves and reach for our desires. Rise up and be free. expand our minds forever, becoming all that we can be. Look in, look out, finding all the joy within, giving us an occasion all to shout. Hold on and dig deep. There is a purpose, you were here in this beautiful mystery. You have a reason, you lead the way. This is your season, you're here to stay. You have a reason, you lead the way. This is your season, this is your day. The light in me sees the light in you. The spark in me sees you shining through. Oh, the light in me sees the light in you. The spark in me sees you shining through. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Woo! Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. The light in me sees the light in you. The spark in me sees you shining through. Yeah, the light in me sees the light in you. The spark in me sees you shining through, shining through. Do-do-do-do-do-do, shining through. Do-do-do-do-do-do, shining through. Do-do-do-do-do-do, shining through. There you go. Hey, I hope you like it, Lisa. And if you don't tell me. And here's an old classic. This is Daniel Namod song. My soul is welcome here. Whoever you are, if you're here, you're welcome. If you're online, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and you're welcome too. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Got the White Stone Ceremony this morning. I'm in the right place. You are at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Good morning, everybody. My soul is welcome here. Let's have some more clapping. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Good morning. My soul is welcome here. Yes, it is, everybody. Good morning.
And good morning, Unity in the Seven Hills. It's going to be a very special Sunday. We have the White Stone Ceremony. First off, everybody should have a white stone and a pen. If you don't, let us know. We'll get you one, and we'll fill in what's to be done later on that. But it's, I think, one of the most beautiful things that Unity has added to the liturgy. And it's also a special Sunday for another reason, because our Dream Team, after the service, the Dream Team is going to be meeting with us, the whole congregation, sharing some of the things they're doing for a wonderful congregational discussion, light lunch, and all that. So come and join us on that. But let's start out by blessing the Christ candle with that great unity affirmation. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives. God, the good, omnipotent. Unity's first principle, and when we can really come into contact with that, and it's more than just mumble words, God, I remember a few weeks ago pulling out of the parking lot. I looked, there was no car. Next thing I know, whammo, and my natural go-to position would be to get out of and as a former New Yorker, to use, but when you use one presence, one power, are we both okay? You survived this, the airbags deployed, everything else like that. Pull in, it will be taken care of. And as I said, when I came in, Ari said, you've only been here 2 weeks and already you're a crash hit. So, you pull into that. One presence, one power, it all, it worked out. When we can pull into that and start living in the solution instead of the problem, then things start to go very, very differently. That's right. So we are, every week we talk about a unity principle. And again, this week we are on the first principle. And I love it that this congregation says, that was the traditional way of saying, but there's other ways of saying that. And so let's say this together. God is all there is and is everywhere. This is the... And when we can realize that our backs are covered, that we're talking about a God who's not about to send down, lightning bolts because we stepped on a crack or something like that, really is there for us, and not only there for us within us. There's a very famous painting of many copies of it, but of Jesus knocking on the door and saying, "Come on, open the door and let me in, and I'll feast with you." What I love is unity changes the perspective. It's not so much the divine wanting to come in. It's the divine that's already inside of us. Robert Browning, that great poet, called it the imprisoned splendor. And then we just start letting out that imprisoned splendor, and we start behaving so differently in situations which used to, really baffle, and throw us, and we seem to now be able to get through them with serenity. We're able to face serenity. We're able to face calamity with serenity. That's a completely different way of living, and it's a beautiful way of living, and it's that, I think, that power of that step. And now let's bless our children. We are so fortunate. The YFM program, Youth and Family Ministries, is really, really cooking. My 8-year-old, Therese, is in it, and has told me how much she loves it. Bring, kids, bring grandchildren. If you know someone with children, bring them. It's a wonderful, wonderful program, and we feel so blessed with it.
So now let's bless our youth together. Let's stand, because we're going to sing afterwards. Well, we can bless standing, and we can sing blessing, right? Standing. All right, so let's bless our youth together. You are a perfect child of God, and God and I love you just the way you are and wherever you are. Let's sing. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, everybody, this morning, every morning. Come on. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank you, everybody. Hey, I want to give a brief thank you to Billy bending those notes for us behind there.
The word of today is freedom. The divine presence within me guides me to freedom. At times, I may feel hemmed in by circumstances, limited by a lack of opportunity, or faced with an unwelcome situation with no good choice. When that happens, I may feel anything but free. Rather than despair, I find my freedom in God and the limitless expression of my divinity. Shifting my perspective from the limits of the world to the expanse and perfection of spirit, peace fills me. I relax and remember that no earthly trouble is greater or more enduring than God. I claim the power of God, and I feel a strength beyond mere human strength, as moment by moment I release limiting beliefs and reclaim the power I had given to my problems. Spirit lives in me and as me. The truth is my freedom. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17. The word of today is freedom.
So, this is one of those peaceful songs. We've got a great ceremony, the White Stone ceremony, coming up, and you've already talked about the light of the divine within you, so this is the perfect song. I didn't know it at the time, but I shouldn't do anything. There should never be any doubt, really. So break me open wide. Let our souls seek timeless lovers, stronger river tides, all our gently softened edges, our polished stony lines. We are barriers and mirrors, grieving drawn together. Joy and beauty open wide, losing form in one another. We love together, we love apart, we love with an ever expanding heart, growing, cracking, opening wide to release the precious gold inside. Break me open wide, break me open wide, break me open wide. Break me open wide. You can internally keep that prayer going to yourself, that statement. Break me open wide. Blowing in a gentle wind, fragile and flexible as grass. Pull the light from deep within, seek our simple somewhere task. Take the forsaken bridge to life, our deepest wounds to heal. Another pole of golden light, 100 veils revealed. We love together, we love apart. We love with an ever-expanding heart, growing, cracking, opening wide to release the precious gold inside. Break me open wide, break me open wide, break me open wide, break me open wide, break me open wide. Sing that with me. Break me open wide, break me open wide. Keep that going while I play. Break me open. We love together, we love apart. We love with an ever-expanding heart, growing, cracking, opening wide to release that precious gold inside. Break me open wide, break me open, break me open wide. Please break me open now, break me open wide, break me open wide, break me open wide.
Gosh, I'm so struck. I mean, because, we talk, but that break me open wide is going to so tie into what we're going to be doing now. I mean, the synchronicity just really strikes me. I think that the two things well, some of the most beautiful things that Unity has added to the liturgy was the burning bowl ceremony and also the white stone ceremony. And so we come to the white stone ceremony. How does it fit in? Well, let's remind ourselves of the process we've been through. And Bonnie asked me, should we take the Christmas tree down? You know, the wise men have already come. And I said, leave it up because it does tie in. So we come to Advent and to Christmas and the rebirth of that Christ within. Christ within, the hope of glory. And it's funny for me that, the really powerful experience I had about the rebirth of the Christ within wasn't around Christmas time. I came into Unity in the mid-'80s. And in around year 2010, I felt the call to ministry. So when I felt the call to ministry, I was in no way a newbie. And so I found out what you had to do. They said, you have to take these 18 courses before we'll consider you for the ministerial program. All right. So I went to the first class was the Christ in the Bible. The Christ in the Bible. and it was taught by a guy by Reverend Tom Thorpe, wonderful man. He for many years was the minister at Unity in Independence, Missouri. And Tom was a hoot. Before the class, he would have his laptop out and he'd have all his posted notes around attached to the laptop. And he'd look at us and he said, "Have you ever thought that the Apostle Paul's letters were sort of like his posted notes? I mean, how'd you like to wake up 2,000 years later and find out that your posted notes were now considered sacred scripture?" And so the class was just about that sense of the Christ within the Bible. And I started writing. We were assignments, and I started writing. Well, what do I really feel about the Christ within the Bible? I thought, well, yeah, there's this divine spark inside of me and all people and all that. But there's a lot of other stuff inside. There's a whole kitchen sink inside of me, a lot of garbage, a lot of this and that. Now, the Christ within is just another thing that's in there. And then as the course progressed, what really struck me, no, the Christ within, and again, it's been called many things. It's been called Buddha nature, the Atman. I remember last week somebody said, "Can we write the burning bowl letter to ourselves?" Of course. I mean, I said, higher self. I mean, just don't write it to your ego, for God's sakes. And again, the ego should be in the car. The car needs an ego in it, but just don't put it in the driver's seat, And so, anyway, it hit me that the Christ is not just another thing inside of us. It is, as it were, the big enchilada. It is, as it were, the big kahuna. Carl Jung, that great Swiss psychiatrist, talked about archetypes. And one of the archetypes he talked about is the self, sort of the central archetype. It is the archetype of archetypes. It's the archetype which other things adjust around. And I thought, wow, that's it. The Christ inside of me, and I call it the Christ. I don't care, you call it Buddha nature, Atman, Shekinah, higher self, perennial philosophy, whatever you call it. But that is not just, that's sort of the archetype of archetypes. That is the central thing. And then what really came out was that this Christ, I just felt it at such a deep level. It's our real essence. It's who we really are. Not our fears, not our error thoughts, not the mistake we made in 1995. It's who we really are. That's our real essence. Boy, it just at a very deep level came alive for me. And as I felt that connection, another thing happened to me. I thought, God, I want to clean up my act. My prayer life, you're going to be a minister, I really, and on this, and your temper, and and you're Mr. Spiritual as long as the world is going your way. The moment, one spark plug starts to poop out, you're on the suicide hotline, you really need to, I had this real desire to improve my spiritual game. That's the burning bowl. That, as essence, is the burning bowl. We come in contact with that Christ within, and it's not somebody saying, "You miserable," or "You need to clean." We have this real desire within. I really want to change this. And so we go to the burning bowl or whatever. It doesn't have to be near New Year's. I started journaling and writing down what I wanted to change and all this, and I really want to be more aligned with that Christ within, and going through that. And last week I talked about the story of Zacchaeus really wanting to change when he came into contact with Jesus, and et cetera, et cetera. And boy, I'm thinking I really want to do this, and I didn't, it was interesting, I didn't burn it. In Judaism, which was, my childhood background, there's something called tashlik, where you go to the river and you rip it up and you throw it in the water, and so I threw it in the Potomac River. And so I did my own personal tashlich and all that. I really want to change and all that. This is going to be great. I'm more going to be aligned with the Christ within. And then you discover, oh my God, I'm doing the same garbage. I'm doing the same, and I started to think, I'm no more, I really want to do this, but I'm no more closer to this vision. And you come to this realization, as it were, that the ego is not going to get the ball in the end zone. That's where the white stone ceremony comes in. And by the way, I bet you a lot of you have felt, I see the shaking of heads and all that, a lot of you have experienced very much a similar type of situation. You want to change. You want to be different. You don't want to be judgmental. You want to be kinder or whatever. But you go into Walmart, they give you the shopping cart with the woogity wheel, and you're right, you're right back, and there's a long line, you're right back in there. The neat thing is, don't worry, you're not alone in facing this. Some of the biggies have, big spiritual, you look and think they're great, have faced very similar. The Apostle Paul, and obviously Christianity centers around Jesus. But many scholars believe if it wasn't for what Paul did, Christianity might never have taken off. We never would have known. So Paul was a central character. And Paul, his road to Damascus and everything else like that. And yet Paul said that there was a thorn in his flesh. His words, there's a thorn in my flesh, said Paul, which no amount of prayer, no amount of anything seems to be able to remove. And Paul, in his letter to the Romans, wrote, I keep on doing what I don't want to do. I keep on doing what I don't want to do, and I don't do what I do want to do. I keep on doing what I don't want to do, and I don't do what I do want to do. I jokingly call it that this is Paul's do-wacka-do, expression. But, that I so related to that, of saying I'm not doing what I really want to do, and I'm, and it, really seemed, Paul really felt in that bind. What was the thorn in Paul's flesh? We don't know for sure. Was it a physical ailment or something else? We don't know. But, it's interesting. Bishop John Shelby Sprong, who was just recently made his transition, he was a bishop in the Episcopalian Church. He was a very progressive biblical scholar. And he came up with, he has a very interesting hypothesis about what that thorn in Paul's flesh might have been. Sprong says, and if you're interested in the evidence as to why Sprong said it, speak to me. I'll be glad to give you the reference. I'll give you the references and all that. But Sprong says that he felt that Paul probably had very strong homoerotic tendencies. Whether he acted on his homosexuality or not, Sprong says, I don't know, but he probably had these feelings. Now remember, this is first century. First century Jewish society is not exactly supportive of alternative sexual, so Paul is feeling this great conflict. He feels he's been called, and yet he has these feelings, and he's writing about the way of the spirit and the way of the flesh. Sprong felt that he probably felt, again, his hypothesis, he felt this real tension. And it was something which no amount of prayer, no amount of anything could relieve. And, we do know Peter's reaction when he was in a situation, and it wasn't over sexuality, but in a situation like this. It's in the Gospels. Peter and the disciples are fishing. and they come up with what my grandmother would say, bupkis. They come up with almost Zippo fish. And they come in, and Jesus says, let's go out again. Well, there are no fish. Let's go out again. All right, Master, we'll go out. And then Jesus says, and again, I don't care whether you take the story literally, metaphysically, or some combination of the two. It's a powerful, powerful story. Jesus says, cast your nets over there. And so they cast the nets over there, and there is an abundance of fish. There is, the nets are about breaking. And Peter, oh my God, he starts realizing who's in the boat, the power. And he goes and he says, Rabbi, stay away from me. Stay away from me. I'm bad news. I'm going to bring, I'm not worthy of your call. I'm not worthy of it. Jesus says to him, you're my rock. I love you just the way you are. Get over it and feed my sheep. Paul probably, if Sprong's hypothesis is right, probably felt the same thing. I've been called to this and I'm not worthy. I want to. And Sprong hypothesizes that Paul heard from Spirit, from Jesus, saying, I love you just the way you are. Get over it already. I've called you to a mighty mission. Go out and do it. Go out and do it. Have you ever noticed that so-called Christian leaders who gay bash, they may quote a lot of things that have these and thous in them, but they are never quoting Jesus. They are never quoting Jesus about this. I could see if Paul was in that situation, Jesus saying, I love you just the way you are. Get over it. I've called you to a mighty mission, and I love you. I love you. That's the power. You know, it's interesting how synchronicity, because, about breaking, that song about breaking. When we come to a point where we really want to change, but yet our egos are not getting the ball into the end zone. That spirit of, beyond our egos, that power beyond our ego can come in. I wasn't expecting, I just saw it on the counter and put it in. It's, I don't know, Bonnie, when this came out, but it's Unity in the Seven Hills. Unity includes everyone. Who you love is not a choice. Putting a limit on your love is be limitless. Be limitless. That, who knows whether Shelby Sprong is, his hypothesis is correct? We'll never know for sure. But we do know that Paul said, I have a thorn in the flesh, which his ego could not remove. And yet, Paul wrote and said that he felt Spirit saying to him, I am made great in your weakness. I am made great in your weakness. In other words, in sort of 20th, first century argot, when we finally truly comprehend on a very deep level that our ego's not going to get the ball in the end zone, then our hearts can break. That song can break. And we can open up to Spirit, and we become teachable. We become really teachable and open to the bright winds of the Spirit. And as we do, we find that there is a power beyond our wildest dreams that can come in and take us where we want to go. And that we find, my God, we now can accomplish things that we thought we never could accomplish before. I could hear some of you saying, well, yeah, that happened to Peter and that happened to Paul, but I'm, just a schlub in Lynchburg, and, and that was a long time ago. The age of miracles is not past. And that's the beauty of the Whitestone ceremony. It goes to the book of Revelation, where the Christ in the book of Revelation says, all who strive, for all who are striving, I will give you a white stone. I will give you a white stone. And on that white stone will be a new name or a word of power. And that word will see you through. That word will see you through and give you the power to overcome. Give you the power to overcome. These stones come from the Holy Land. They were quarried in quarries between Hebron and Jerusalem. You also should have a pen or some marker. And in a moment we will be going into meditation. Go into it with a mindset that God really loves you, that Spirit really loves you. If Spirit could communicate with Peter and with Paul, why not with you and me? The age of miracles is not past. I have known situations of people who, have gotten words, have written them down. One woman said to me, I've carried that stone in my purse. I had another man who said, I've carried this stone in my pocket. And when I sometimes feel, disheartened or whatever, I go to that stone and remind myself of the word on that stone. And it gives me the ability to do what I thought I could never do. To face situations which I, used to poop out on, and now I can face those situations. In our lives, we have, maybe it'd be best to do it in the spring or summer. I'd love to have you all come down, and we'll have a party. We'll have a party at our place and all that. And in our homes, there is the Bellis home. There's a family altar, and on the altar are a lot of white stones from a lot of ceremonies been through. Those words are powerful. Those words are powerful, and it can happen. That word, just like it says in Revelation, to help you overcome what your ego probably never could overcome. And so now, let's start just with a prayer. Dear Spirit, thank you so much that the age of miracles is not past. That we, thank you, are one with the one. And even here and even now, are ready to receive guidance, a word, an illumination, something beyond our ego that will help us deal with the things we really honestly want to get over and overcome. Thank you for this added power to help us more align with the Christ within, our hope of glory. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen. And amen.
So to take us into meditation today, we will sing the perfect song for the White Stone Ceremony, Who Am I? And as you go into the meditation, take the words of this song and find your own word. And hopefully it will uncover itself to you today and throughout this year. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I to be? Guide me to my newest name. Bring forth the real me. Who am I? Who am I to be? Bring forth my newest name. Bring forth the real me. Who am I? Who am I? It's my soul to see. Bring light into the dark. Let all the shadows see. Who am I? Help my soul to see. Bring light into the dark. Let all the shadows cease. Who am I? Help my soul to see. Bring light into the dark. Let all the shadows cease. Who am I? Complete with certainty. Let me share with all the world my true divinity. Who am I? Complete with certainty. Let me share with all the world my true divinity. Who am I? Complete with certainty. Let me share with all the world my true divinity.
That word, that power is yours. Spirit so loves you and wants you to have this gift. The prophet Zechariah said, "Not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord." Marianne Williamson said, "What we so often fear It's not our faults, it's not our dark side, but what we fear most is that we really are children of the Most High. We fear our divinity, and to walk in the light. And as we are coming to more music and towards the end of this, maybe that word did not come to you. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about it all. I would suggest carry this stone and carry this pen, this marker with you. I have known situations where people, it took several days, it took a week or whatever. Just carry it. That word will come to you. It's on God's time, not on our time. Dear Spirit, thank you for your love. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. The light of God, let's stand and sing. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
Please be seated. Okay. Okay, good, 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 good. There was I've spoken about him before, Jim Rosemergy, a wonderful minister in the Unity movement, wrote a book called Even Mystics Have to Pay Bills. And so we come to that part of the service of tithes, offerings, gifts. And for all you folks out there watching online, we are so thankful for your support too. There are many ways of giving. One way obviously is through online. There are ways to click and make donations. Snail mail is working a little slower, but it still works. Contributions can be sent to 3522 Campbell Avenue, Lynchburg, Virginia, 24501. That's 3522 Campbell Avenue, Lynchburg, Virginia, 24501. And we are so grateful for support from this minute. I think we face so many positive and wonderful opportunities. Coming out of the pandemic, there are so many people in the Lynchburg area who are what we would call spiritual but not religious, and are looking for something like Unity has to offer. We have a powerful message which we can, I think, can help many, many people. Does take resources, and we thank you so much for that. Let's affirm our abundance together. Unity in the Seven Hills is abundantly blessed. Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Financial resources bless us. And we accomplish mighty works together. And with this abundance, it's time to share our blessings this month. We are supporting several organizations within the Unity family. And also, it's Miriam House. Did I get it right this time? It's that wonderful operation, Miriam House. There are ways to give through Zelle, check, cash, PayPal. Click below. As our greeters direct you row by row, come on up. And I know many of you give online or monthly or whatever. Please come up. Your blessings, your positive vibes are really important. And then we'd ask you, please take an affirmation. Synchronicity, I can't tell you how often synchronicity really works on the affirmations that one picks up. So thank you so much.
So we're going to sing this morning, something wonderful. Let's stand, and as you come forward, keep on singing. Here we go. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, oh, I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart. And it won't let go, no, it won't let go. All this love inside. We can let it shine out. Yes, we can. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, oh, yeah. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart. And it won't let go, no, it won't let go. All this love inside. We can let it shine out. Yes, we can. There's something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh yeah, I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I I can feel it in my heart. And it won't let go, no, it won't let go. All this love inside. We can let it shine out. Yes, we can. Something wonderful. G.
We have our YFMers up. We have our YFMer. How was Youth and Family Ministries? Can you tell us about it? What's gone on? Why don't you go up there? No.
Today we talked about Jonah and the whale and how, in my opinion, the story is encouraging us to live up to our potential and do the hard things. And this is our craft for today. Can you ladies and gentlemen hold up your whale?
Woo! That's cute.
Thank you.
So let's bless the gifts together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. United in mind, body, and spirit, I dedicate these gifts as they grow to bless our community, our neighborhood, and our world. And Robin and I are actually going to be dropping off a check for yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. See you downstairs, everybody. There's some chili down there and other things too.